Snoop Dogg is in the news over an announcement that he's going to be adding LGBTQ couples within a children's show that he's producing. Now, I wasn't even aware that he was producing children's animated shows, but the guy has grandkids, so I guess it stands to reason that he'd want to be making some content for them. But what is surprising is this comes about a month and a half after comments that he made in regard to the Pixar film Lightyear, where he said he didn't like watching that movie with his grandson because there was a lesbian couple in it. And this latest move on his part just seems like he's doing a complete 180. And a lot of people don't think that it's genuine, and more likely that he's just doing this in order to save his status within the entertainment industry. But before we really get into all this, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you can, leave a comment and hit the like button too, because it helps out with the channel. Snoop Dogg bends the knee, teams with GLAAD, adds gay couples to kids show. This is coming from Cosmic Book News. After his Lightyear controversy, Snoop Dogg has changed his tune and his cartoon. The rapper and entrepreneur has partnered with GLAAD to promote LGBTQ awareness through his animated children's show Doggyland on YouTube. The move comes after LGBTQ backlash over his remarks on Pixar's Lightyear, when he admitted he was caught off guard by the film's same-sex couple and the questions it raised from his grandson. And specifically what he was basically saying is that when the lesbian couple came up, his grandson asked him how a lesbian couple could have or two women could have a baby. He said that he was uncomfortable with that. He was caught off guard. He didn't want to have to answer those questions from his grandson. He said he didn't know that movie was coming, that was going to be in the movie. And if he did know it was going to be in the movie, they probably wouldn't have watched it. And that he doesn't want to watch movies with his grandson in theaters anymore because he's worried that type of content will be in the movie. That's what he was saying at the time. And naturally, after he made those comments, he was getting a lot of backlash from the various people within these advocacy groups. And since then, there was a statement that was released on his Instagram where it kind of apologized. It was a wishy-washy answer, basically saying like, oh, well, I'll try to do better and stuff like that. I may have phrased it badly. And then it was after that he said that that wasn't him that made those statements. It was someone else. So that's really all we've had up until this point. Now we're getting this news where not only is he adding gay characters to a children's show that he's producing, but he's partnering specifically with one of the biggest gay advocacy groups in the entire US to do that sort of thing, which comes across less like he's doing this out of a genuine, this is what he wanted to do all along, and more that, okay, I'm just kind of submitting to the struggle session because a lot of these people came after me and tried to cancel me. Now, Snoop has teamed with GLAAD for Spirit Day, an annual event where celebrities and brands wear purple to show support for LGBTQ youth. He appeared alongside The Voice contestant Jeremy Belante, an openly gay artist who competed on Team Snoop, to discuss bullying, acceptance, and their new collaboration. Love is Love debuted on Doggyland. Snoop and Belante co-wrote the new song Love is Love, featured in a fresh episode of Doggyland. The track promotes inclusion and features animated same-sex couples and their families. Now, this isn't him just kind of backtracking or apologizing for him. This is him going completely in the opposite direction, where he's going from saying like, oh, I don't want to have this type of stuff in children's content, or I don't want to have to watch, take my grandson to watch a children's movie and then seeing gay stuff in it, to him partnering with GLAAD and then also co-writing a pro-gay song with a gay artist out there and putting it on his children's show and making a whole big thing about how like, oh yeah, it's just love is love. Everything's fine. Even whether you're gay, straight, it's all the same. Our parents are different. No two are the same. But the one thing that's for certain is love won't change. Families are special. They are so unique. Everybody's got a purpose. More than what you see. We love you, parents. We love you so. Sing the pups in the animated series. So yeah, basically trying to promote gay families and other things like that. Basically what he was saying, the kind of questions he didn't want to be asked by his grandson when he watched Lightyear. Now, I've talked about Lightyear a number of times on this channel in the past, and I don't think having a lesbian couple is the reason why that movie failed at the box office. But one thing that can't be denied is that they were trying to hype up the fact that there was a lesbian couple in that movie prior to the release of the movie. And then after it was ultimately released, parents were saying that they don't want to watch that movie because there was a lesbian couple in it. They don't want to watch movies that are pushing divisive political agendas or anything like that. They just want to watch family content where parents aren't expected to field any awkward questions from their kids. Now, compare that to Pixar's Inside Out 2 that came out shortly after Lightyear did. Inside Out 2 was a huge success for the studio, and it was reported from some animators working on it that the executives from Pixar basically made them go back and edit the film to try to remove any insinuation that the lead character, Riley, was gay, and that And I'm not saying that's the reason why Pixar's Inside Out 2 went on to become over $1 billion hit. But one thing is for sure, after the movie was released, a lot of parents were saying that there's no political agenda in that movie and that you could take your kids to it and you don't have to be expected to answer any questions that they might not be willing to answer right now or might not be capable of answering or prepared to answer. So, like I said, I don't think having a gay couple in Lightyear is why the movie failed. I don't think having no gay couples or no gay elements in Inside Out 2 is why the movie succeeded. But I do think it is a factor to be had on there. But Snoop Dogg, I believe his initial statements that he said, where he said he didn't want to watch movies because of that content, I think that was really him. I think a 90s rapper like Snoop Dogg isn't going to care about like gay couples. In fact, there was a lot of homophobia in the rap community, especially at that time. And I think he still carries a lot of that to this day. And I think that comments that he initially made was his real comments. But he saw a lot of the backlash and a lot of people within the entertainment industry that he's kind of absorbed in, made him feel as if he kind of had to do a 180 on this one in order to salvage his career. And that's not even me just speculating. I mean, just take a look at this article from Newsweek that came out about a week after his initial comments with this headline. Snoop Dogg's LGBTQ plus remarks may have serious financial consequences. And if you scroll further down in the article, just remember like what his cartoon show is doing right now. It's advocating for gay couples within families, basically saying they're all the same, just as long as families love each other. It doesn't matter if there's gay kids, gay parents, or anything like that. But look at this. Crisis management and PR expert Edward Siegel, author of the upcoming book, The Crisis Casebook, Lessons in Crisis Management from the World's Leading Brands, said, as word spreads about Snoop Dogg's comments, the likelihood that his income could take a hit increases, and so does the potential damage to his career. This is what he's surrounded with within the entertainment industry. Basically, people saying, hey, because of the stuff that you said, you're going to face financial backlash. Now, whether or not he actually did experience financial backlash, we'll never know. But there is a lot of people surrounding him that are telling him that this is going to hurt his career and his revenue if he doesn't apologize or do something really fast. And since this is only about a month and a half later, he's adding it to his animated show. It does seem like this is something that he's been working on since those initial comments started getting all the backlash. In order to quickly staunch the damage, it would be helpful if he went on an apology tour of podcasts, social media platforms, and major news organizations to express his remorse. As is the case with any crisis situation, it's important that he tells his side of the story strategically, effectively, and efficiently, and as soon as possible. It seems like he's actually moving pretty quickly on this one, adding it to an animated show. Snoop Dogg could also use the tour as a rallying cry to help underscore the need for people to be understanding and accepting of the different forms of families and to be prepared to answer the questions that their children or grandchildren have about the LGBTQ plus related issues. That's exactly what he's doing within the show that he's producing. Like, here, let me just read this statement again. Snoop Dogg could also use the tour as a rallying cry to help underscore the need for people to be understanding and accepting of the different forms of families and to be prepared to answer the questions that their children or grandchildren have about the LGBTQ plus related issues. So, like I said, it doesn't feel like this latest thing from Snoop Dogg is him genuinely being remorseful or basically like, oh, I misspoke, so I want to basically clear the air. I actually support the LGBTQ community or anything like that, and just forgive me. This comes across as Snoop Dogg trying to basically say, please don't cancel me. Please don't hurt my revenue. I will toe the line. I will do exactly what you tell me to do, just so long as you don't come after me. And do the people within these groups actually do forgive as a result of this sort of thing? No, because they've shown time and time again they're incapable of forgiveness. All this means is that Snoop Dogg is someone that was showing that he's willing to bend the knee if given enough pressure from these various groups. So now what does that mean? It means in the future that he's going to be on a short leash for them. They're never going to forgive them, but they're going to expect him to basically do what they tell him to do moving forward. Compare that to a lot of other people where there's been a cancellation attempts where they basically just tell them like, okay, no, I'm not going to apologize. Now, for some people that do get blacklisted and lose their career as a result of this sort of thing. But for other people, if they're big enough names, then they're pretty much impervious to cancellation. And if they just say, shut up and I'm just going to do what I want, then eventually a lot of these advocacy groups will shut up about it too, because they're like, well, we tried to cancel this person. They're not going to submit to us. So let's move on to someone else who's a weaker target. But now Snoop Dogg has basically shown himself to roll over and take it whenever they come after him. So it's just a matter of time before they call in another favor. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you think he was actually genuinely remorseful? He may have misspoke, or do you think this is him just kind of rolling over and showing his belly? Comment below. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to hit the like button and share the video out there because it helps out with the channel. Thank you.